All right, so for question number 13, we have a track and field application. A person who runs a 100-yard dash in 10.5 seconds has an average speed of 9.52 yards per second. And we're asked to convert 9.52 yards per second to miles per hour. So this is number 13, and we're asked to convert 9.52 yards per second. So that's yards per second to miles per hour. Just make sure. Okay, miles per hour. All right, so here we're going to have to use two conversions. So I have 9.52 yards per second. So that word per you see, that is our denominator, right? So we have to do two conversions. We have to convert yards to miles, and we have to convert seconds to hours. So the first thing I'm going to do is convert yards to miles. So I'm going to put yards in the denominator, and I'm going to put miles in the numerator. So I'm going to write out the conversion. Let's see, is that on our conversion sheet? From miles to yards. So 1 mile is 1,760 yards. So I'm just using this conversion calculator. So 1 mile is 1,760 yards. So this is going to convert yards to miles because the yards are going to cancel, and I'm left with miles. Next, I want to convert seconds to hours. Since seconds is in the denominator, when I cross multiply these things, I want to put seconds in the numerator. So therefore, when I multiply, the seconds are going to cancel. So I'm going to put seconds in the numerator and hours in the denominator. And 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. So now I have my units of miles per hour. So I'm going to multiply all of my denominators. That's like 9.52 times 3,600. And I have miles in the numerator. And I'm going to multiply all my denominators. So I have 1,760. Okay, and 1,760 times 1 is still 1,760. And I have my miles per hour. Okay, and now I'm just going to simplify. All right, so I'm going to multiply 9.52 times 3,600, and I'm going to divide that by 1,760. Right, and we have 19 point, I believe they want us to round. I should believe that should be 19.5.
Yeah, it says the nearest town.
to the nearest 10, so that would be 19.5. Three numbers 11, 12, 13, 14, you have to use two conversions. We'll take a look at number 14. The speed of a bullet. The bullet from a rifle leaves the barrel traveling 2,700 feet per second. We're asked to convert 2,700 feet per second to miles per hour. Right? So we're going to do the same, or use the same concept, convert feet, in this case, to miles, and then second to hours.
Sir,
Uh-huh.
my 14 looks a little different than that.
What is it the speed of a bullet on that?
The bullet from a rifle leaves the barrel traveling at 3,500 feet per second.
Right. Now on yours, yeah, they're going to be different because it uses an algorithm. So it's the same question, just different numbers. So the procedure is going to be the same. Right? All right. So if you want to follow along with yours, as I do mine, but just use different numbers. All right. So we want to convert 2,700 feet per second. So notice I'm kind of putting feet in the numerator and second in the denominator. We want to convert that to miles per hour. All right. So I have 2,700 feet per second. So the first thing I'm going to do is convert feet to miles. So since my unit of feet is originally in the numerator, I'm going to put that in the denominator. Okay, and I'm going to put miles in the numerator. And then I'm going to use that conversion. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Right? So that converts feet to miles. Next, I want to convert seconds to hours. So since seconds is originally in the denominator, when I construct my unit fraction, I want to put second in the numerator and hour in the denominator. And now I'm going to simply write out that conversion. 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. So when we multiply these things across, notice that the unit of feet will cancel and the units of second will cancel. And I'm left with miles in the numerator and hours in the denominator. So now we're going to multiply all of our numerators. So that's 2,700 times 3,600 miles divided by 5,280. And our unit we're left with in the denominator is hours. And now we're going to multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, and then divide. So we have 2,700 times 3,600 divided by 5,280. And we have 1841 miles per hour. Right. So it wants us to round to the nearest whole number, or the nearest whole mile. Okay, so we have 1841. Right. Now there is a number 15, and I have placed the video for number 15 on that main page. So I'm trying to get to the point where these questions that don't have videos, like number 11, okay, I'm placing a video in for them. So let's take a look at number 11. Okay, that doesn't have a video. Okay, so it's like 11 and 15 were the only two that didn't have. Okay, a video. So number 11, it says in horse racing, 1 furlong is equal to 220 yards. How many feet are in furlongs? Right. Now there is a conversion on, I believe it's that first formula sheet, but they give us furlongs to rods, right? And then they give us like furlongs to miles, that sort of conversion. In this problem, they give us the conversion. So in some of the problems, they'll give you the conversions. In other problems, you may have to look up the conversion. So here it says 1 furlong is 220 yards, but they want us to answer this in feet. So here again, we're going to have to perform 2 conversions. So we're going to convert feet to furlongs. Okay, so this is number 11. So this is number 11, 1.1. Want to convert seven furlongs to feet. So we have 7 furlongs. So first, just by giving it conversion, we're going to convert furlongs to yards. Right, so it says that 1 furlong is 220 yards. And then we're going to convert yards to feet. All right, so we have furlongs to yards. So they gave us that conversion. 1 furlong was 220 feet. And then for our second unit fraction, I want to convert yards to feet. Right. So 1 yard is 3 feet. So when we multiply these things, notice that furlongs cancel, notice that yards cancel, and we're left with feet. So now I'm just going to multiply my numerators, multiply my denominators, and this should give us our conversion. So notice 7 furlongs, that's already over 1, right? You can put anything over 1. So 7 is in our numerator, so we have 7 times 220 times 3, and then we have feet. And in the denominator, I just simply have 1, right? So if we multiply all of these together, 7 times 220 times 3, and we get 4,620. So 7 furlongs is 4,620 feet. So now in the next section, we're going to use that same unit fraction dimension analysis concept, but we're going to deal with areas. All right, so any questions about the first section? All right, now in this next section, area and volume. All right, so here again it says make the following conversions. 4 square feet to square yards. And I don't think that was on any of those formula sheets.
Square inches. Square inches.
It was square inches? Okay, square feet to square inches, square feet. Okay, let me just pull up the other sheet I had. And let's see if it's on this one. Yeah, square inches to square feet. So it says 1 square foot is 144 square inches. Now these are where some of these things come from. Square feet. So we'll actually convert it in a second, but if I have 1 square, a square, right? A square is the same on all sides. If I wanted to find the area, I would simply take whatever a side length is and multiply it, right? So I'm going to call this 1 foot, right? And that's 1 foot, because in a square, the opposite sides are parallel and equal, right? So if I wanted to find the area, I would just simply multiply 1 foot by 1 foot. So 1 times 1 is 1. And when you multiply 1 feet times feet, you get square feet. Now, as far as the conversion from square feet to square inches, 1 foot is equal to how many inches? 12, right? So this would be 12 inches, and this would also be 12 inches, right? So if I were to find how many square inches, 12 times 12 is what? 144, and then inches times inches is inch square. So this is where these conversions come from. 1 square foot is equal to 144 square inches. All right. Okay. So this is where they kind of come up with these generalized, right, forms. So 144 square inches is equal to 1 square foot. So we're going to use that conversion along with the unit fraction. Right. So we want to convert 4 square feet to square inches. So this is 1.2, number 1. Convert 4 square feet to square inches. So I have 4 square feet. Okay. And I'm going to multiply that by a unit fraction. So the unit fraction that I'm going to use, it should have square feet in the denominator, okay, and then square inches in the numerator. So when we multiply, our units of square foot will cancel. Now I'm going to simply just put in the conversion. 1 square foot is equal to 144 square inches. So when we multiply, the square feet are going to cancel. I'm going to multiply my numerators. So I have 4 times 144. Right, we have square inches. And then in my denominator, I have a 1, right? So if I multiply 4 times 144, I believe I get, what, 576? 4 times 144. So I should have 500. Yeah, 4 times 144. 576 square inches. Area is always in units squared. And as we go further in the course, volume is always in cubic units. And then perimeter is just in the unit alone. Right? So for that first example, we have 576 square inches. And if I go further down, number 3, we're asked to convert 20 acres to square feet. So if I look up, acres to square feet, it'll be this. I'm gonna make sure everybody gets this. So we have, now this formula sheet is a little bit different because we have 1 acre, which is 4,000 840 square yards, which is 43,560 square feet. So I can either make a conversion between acres and square miles or acres and square feet. So since we're using square feet, we're going to use this conversion. 1 acre is 43,560 square feet. So 1 acre, 43,560 square feet. All right, so if we're going to convert 20 acres to square feet, and this was number 3. So we have 20 acres. I'm going to make my unit fraction. I'm going to put acres in the denominator. I'm going to put square feet in the numerator. And now I'm going to write out that conversion. So 1 acre was 43,560 square feet. So when I multiply, the units of acres are canceled. So now I'm going to multiply my numerator. So I have 20 times 43,560. And we have our unit of square feet.
871,200.
So that's 871,200 square feet. That was number 3. All right. Number 4 is like square miles to acres. Is that on our sheet?
So where'd you say you're going to put that?
This sheet, I'm going to put it a matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can do that now. I'm actually going to put it here. Let's see. How can I do that?
In a moment, can you go over question 7?
Okay. Give me 1 second, and I'm going to put that in. Let me change the name on this file. Okay, what is going on? Okay. I'm going to title it linear. Okay. So if you refresh your screen, you should see that. You should see it now. Let me just okay. I'll have to go back and put it in the class. Okay, which number did you say? Number 7. 7. Okay, 1, 2, 7. Okay, number 7. It says sports. The diagram below shows the dimensions of the playing fields for the National Football League, the NFL, the Canadian Football League, and the Arena Football. Find the area of each, and then convert each area to acres, and then round to the nearest hundreds. All right, so for the NFL, that's going to be the middle one, right? So in order to find square yards, I'm simply going to multiply the length times the width, right? So I'm going to take, now yours may be a little bit different, but I'm going to take 55 1/3. I'm going to convert that to an improper fraction. So 55 1/3 as an improper fraction, right? I mean 53 1/3. I would have to do what? Multiply 53 times 3, right? And then I have to do what? Add 1. So that's going to give me 160 divided by 3. Right, so if I take 160 and divide that by 3, that's going to give me like that 53 1/3, right? So let me do 160 divided by 3. And then I'm going to multiply that by 100. Right, so in order to get the area, I multiply the length times the width, right? So that's where the 5,333 comes in, square yards. So now I have to convert square yards to acres. So that's the key thing on these is converting these mixed numbers to improper fractions. So I want to convert square yards to acres. So I'm going to pull up the formula sheet. And I want to use a measurement from square yards to acres, right? So 1 acre is 4,840 square yards. Let me just put them on the same screen at one time. All right. So just so I can write this down. So for the NFL, to find the square yards. I took 160 divided by 3, right, which is the 53 1/3. I multiplied by 100, and that's where the 5,333.33 comes in. Yard square. Now I want to find acres. Okay, so I want to convert So I'm taking 5,333.333 and I'm converting that to a fraction. So now this is how I did this with the calculator. Let me just kind of go back. Oh my goodness. All right, so 160 divided by 3 times 100. Okay, in order to convert to a fraction, excuse me, I hit math. The first option says it'll take what is given and it will attempt to convert it to a fraction. All right, so I get 16,000 divided by 3. So I want to take 16,000 over 3 square yards, and I want to convert that to acres, right? So I want to put square yards in the denominator, and I want to put acres in the numerator. So from our conversion, one acre is 4,840 square yards. So 1 acre is 4,840 square yards. So now when we multiply, the yards are going to cancel. I'm going to multiply my numerators. So I get 16,000 acres. I'm going to multiply my denominators. 3 times 4,840. So I'm going to just do the denominator first. 3 times 4,840. I get 14,000 times divided by 14,520, and that's acres. All right, so when I divide that up, I get 10.52 acres.
The calculator said 16,000 divided by 1,520.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, right here. Okay, 16,000 divided by 14,520. Okay, and we get 1.10. Well, it'll tell us how we want it to. Okay, we get 1.1 acres. So it wants to round to the nearest tenths. Any questions about the first one? So we're just going to go through that with all three. So for the Canadian, you just got to make sure that you're choosing the right field. So for the Canadian football field, I want the answer in square yards first. So I'm simply going to multiply the length times the width. So that's 110 times 65, which would be 7,150 square yards. And now we're going to convert square yards to acres. So let's convert 7,150 square yards to acres. So we're going to use that same conversion. 7,150 square yards. So for my unit fraction, I'm going to put square yards in the denominator, acres in the numerator. And our conversion says that 1 acre is 4,840 square yards. So now if we multiply, the square yards are going to cancel. So I'm going to multiply my numerators. So that's 7,150 over 4,840. Right? And my unit is acres. So 7,150 divided by 4,840, and we get 1.48 acres. And then for the arena football, okay, that's using the first football field, at least on mine. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to convert that 28 1/3 to an improper fraction. So I'm going to multiply 28 times 3. I'm going to add 1. So I get 85 over 3. So let me write this one right here. So this is for the arena football. All right, so I'm just going to redraw the field. So this is, instead of 28 1/3, I'm going to write that as 85 over 3 yards. And then the width is 50 yards. So I'm going to just multiply those two things together. So 85 divided by 3 times 50, that gives us 1,416 square yards, or 1,416.67 square yards. So just like I did in the first one, I'm going to convert this to an improper fraction. So I'm going to use the calculator. I'm going to hit math. Okay, I convert that over. I get 42,050 divided by 3. So we want to convert 44,250 divided by 3 square yards to acres. So when I develop my unit fraction, square yards goes in the denominator, acres goes in the numerator. And from our conversion, 1 acre is 4,840 square yards. So our unit of yards cancel. Now I'm going to multiply my numerators and multiply my denominators. So I have 4,250 divided by 3 times 4840. Okay, and our unit is acres. So next I'm going to simplify the denominator. So this is 3 times 4,840, which is 14,520. And then now I'm just going to simplify it. So 4250 divided by 14,520, and we get 0.29 acres. So 0.29 acres. So the key thing for this problem is to convert the mixed numbers to improper fractions. All right, any questions about number 7?
There was a question. I
Uh-huh.
might have went ahead, so I might be in the wrong section.
Which one? Do you remember which one it was?
It was something like a brick is 10 by 20 centimeters, and your patio is 50 square meters.
Oh, that's this one. This is number 8. Landscapers putting a brick is putting in a brick patio. The area of the patio. Okay, now this is the thing about this one. They give you 2 different sets of measurements.
Yeah.
The patio is measured in square meters, but the bricks are in square centimeters. So what we're going to do on this is we're going to change the measurement of a brick from square centimeters to square meters. And then we're going to figure out how many bricks we need. Okay? So that's the first thing. The bricks are measured in centimeters. So the measurement of one brick is going to be, what, 10 times 10 times 20, which is like 200 centimeters.
Yeah.
We're going to convert 200 centimeters to square meters, and then we're going to divide to figure out how many bricks.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think that's where I messed up.
Okay.
Because I tried to convert the patio to square centimeters.
Right.
And then divide it. My number was.
Well, I guess you could do it that way too, as long as your units are the same.
Yeah.
As long as your units are the same. So let's see, you converted square meters to square centimeters, right?
Yeah.
So let's try it that way. So let me pull up the conversion chart. So let's see, where is it? So do we have it square meters to square centimeters? Or another thing we can do is you can convert, in the metric system, well, this may help first. In the metric system, we can convert from like one prefix to another. Let's see. I don't know how many people heard of this, but there's a little saying. This is for the metric system. King, I think it's mighty. I'm going to take off the mighty part. King Henry died by drinking Chocolate milk. Anybody ever heard of that before?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 So it's an acronym. K is for kilo, H is for hecto, D is for deca, and B is that's your base unit. So the base units are meters, grams. Well, meters is for distance, gram is for weight, and it's one for volume. I'm getting the brain. Liters. I'm getting the brain part. Liters. And then drinking is deci. Chocolate is centi. And milk is milli, right? That's M-I-L-L-I. Right? So if you're going to convert, let's say, from one unit to another, we can convert you just find a problem. Okay, where is Oh, that must have been, was that in the first section?
Which one, the one we're doing now?
No, the I think that might have been in the first section, the millimeter stuff. Oh, okay. Those were like in module 1. So like this first one says convert 54 meters to centimeters. If I wanted to convert 54 meters to centimeters, I could find 54 meters, and I can just write that in as 54. And if I wanted to convert to centimeters, that means I have to move that decimal 2 places to the right in order to move from my base of meters to centimeters. So that means I would have to add 2 zeros. So 54 meters would be 5,400 centimeters. Okay, we kind of move back and forth. For our problem, let's see, you converted, let me just close some of these windows down. Because it's not on our formula sheet. We just kind of look that up.
I just figured out how many centimeters from 1 square meter, which is 10,000.
10,000?
And then I times that. So mine says 150. So that gave me 1,500,000 square centimeters. Then I just figured out the size of a block.
Okay. So now how I sort of did mine was, because there's more than one way to basically work out anything, especially a math problem. So I converted everything to square meters. So I multiplied 10 centimeters by 20 centimeters, and that was that gave me 200 square centimeters. I'm going to find a formula sheet with all of this stuff on there, but I used square centimeters to square meters. So like if I put in 200 square centimeters is 0.02 square meters. So 200 square centimeters is equal to 0.02 square meters, right? So now I have everything in the same unit, and the patio was 120 square meters. So then I kind of set up an equation. So 0.02 square meters times what will give me 120 square meters, right? So then I kind of divided both sides by 0.02. My way might be a little bit more mathematical because I divided both sides by 0.02. And once you do that, you get 120 divided by 0.02. You get 6,000. So for my particular example, it takes 6,000 20 by 10 centimeter bricks to concrete or to brick up a patio that's 120 square meters. Right. So this one should be 6,000. Or you can convert everything to square centimeters and then kind of set up that same type ratio. Let's see, I'm gonna make a video for number 8 and number 7. Any other in this section 1.2?
Number 12, it was 4.3 liters to milliliters.
Okay.
When I did the decimals, that brought me to 430. Did I do something wrong?
Let's see.
The answer is 4,300.
So 4.3 liters.
Oh, I see.
You see, okay. So if you
I forgot decimeters.
I got you.
Two places.
Okay. Like, any other questions about 1.2?